Hi, Matika. How are you?
Well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for coming to ministry, guys.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Matika. I live on the south coast of New South Wales with my amazing husband and 3 beautiful children. And I lead a youth ministry in a town called Batemans Bay.
Amazing. Can you take us back to when you gave your life to Jesus Christ? When, where, and what has happened that has actually helped you or shaped you to be who you are today?
Sure. So when I was a child when I first gave my life to Jesus, but that was more my sister had done it and she was getting a lot of attention, so I thought I would do it too. But fast forward to when I was 17 and I was kicked out of home. And all of a sudden I had to really make a decision about this Jesus guy and whether I was going to walk with him or just figure it all out on my own. And I don't know where I would be if I hadn't have chosen Jesus.
Yes, I can literally see, based on what you just shared now, how passionate you are in reaching out to lost kids, kids on the street, because I could remember when I came to your youth group, I was really amazed to see the kind of kids that are in your youth compared to my youth. It's really different. And though there was some stuff that goes on that night that was a bit strange to me, and I would like you to just share a little bit about that.
Sure.
I know there are some rules that was read out and stuff like that. Can you share?
Yeah.
I think we love to hear that.
Yeah. So my youth is made up of, there's no church kids in there. So we don't have teenagers in our church that are coming to our youth group.
Okay.
We have kids that are coming in off the street from, I do believe it is the second worst high school in the state of New South Wales as far as their fight culture.
Sorry, did you say the worst school?
Second worst in the entire state of New South Wales.
In Batemans Bay?
Yes.
That's shocking.
For fighting, for the fights that break out there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're number 1 for vaping.
Really?
Yeah, it's a massive problem.
Okay, now I get the rules. Okay,
Yes.
you can continue because I really need to get something.
Yeah, so these rules, basically just going through things like when we would say it every week and be very clear and set some expectations to set the culture. Things like we don't do anything illegal at youth. We don't have fights. We don't even talk about fights. That was a no-go because it was such a problem. And we don't have sex in the bushes.
Wow.
So that's the golden rule, which the youth love. They think that's hilarious, which was kind of the point, something that we could make it lighthearted, but also set an expectation of some boundaries as far as relationship.
Yeah.
Wow. And we haven't done rules for a long time now and they still love that one. They always ask, let's do the rules.
Yeah, sincerely, I was really surprised when I heard no sex in the bush. I was like, oh my goodness, what did I just hear now?
Yeah.
And now I can understand why that rules was there. For my youth, I don't have to tell them the rules because they kind of like get it, okay? But based on kids that come on the street, they have family problems and all that, and you could see that they have been exposed to things at that very young age that's literally very dangerous for them. So tell me, what are the age group that you have in your youth?
So we open it from 12 years old, depending on the kid, because some kids aren't emotionally ready to be around our older kids that at that age. But basically 12 years to 17.
Wow.
Once they turn 18, they're an adult, and then we either move them into young adults or if they want to be on the team for the right fit, then we work with them for that.
That's amazing. And also, can you please take us back, share some experience that you have that can actually be a blessing to many young or youth leaders that are listening to us now?
So personally for me, it has been a really tough slog. It's been hard. Yeah. There's been a lot of opposition. Yeah. And there's been nights when we've had 2 kids show up.
Oh my goodness, that's where I'm coming from. Okay. The 2 kids, right? Yeah. Because it's easy for you to feel like, as a youth leader or a youth pastor, it's easy for you to feel like you are not doing enough, and like, oh man, what am I doing? The strategy is not working and stuff like that. But for me to hear from you to say like you have actually have 2 youths in the night before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's making sense.
Yeah. I think you just have to be flexible. Always have a plan B in your head. Initially, I would make plans and we tried so much to replicate a church service. So having some music, we'd do some games, but then try to have a proper sit-down message.
Yes.
And it didn't work. And we were all getting exhausted. And I wanted to quit every week because they would either just get up and walk out, or they would talk to each other, or they'd disappear. But then you have a night with 2 kids, and that's weird to get up and try and share a message. But it's the biggest thing I've found so far is just showing up every week and just being there and being those people that they know are going to be there consistently, who actually care. Someone who,
just being there consistently.
Yeah.
All right. So it doesn't matter the results, just being there consistently.
Yeah. We had no budget. We only had 3 people on our team, and we just had to simplify whatever we could and go, what's the most important thing here? It's Jesus. We want to share Jesus with them. So we do whatever we have to make that work for them in a way that they're actually going to receive that. Not how we envision this great big message and I'm preaching and everyone's getting saved.
Yeah.
That wasn't where they were at. They needed closer, intimate, more conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So back in Nigeria, the way we do our youth is very different from here.
Oh.
Okay. So it's more based on kind of like a church stuff. I don't think I've ever actually attended any youth program that is game.
Oh, wow.
It's more like Bible study rather, and a preacher preaching and for hours and praying and stuff like that. And there are different encounters, and praise God for that. But when I came here, it was really strange for me because I remember I was like, what are they playing games? What is that? And for me to know that the culture is so different here. Back in Nigeria, like the relationship part is not really there because of our culture. Because people can easily worship someone. People can easily there's a culture of respect that can be taken out of context,
Okay.
So people can literally worship a pastor and stuff like that. So the relationship part is not there. When I came to Australia, I found out that what work in churches here, it's more of a relational stuff. So a pastor has to be more close to a member and stuff like that, And I can see the way things are done so differently. But I would like you to share with us, what are the challenges that you have experienced that literally for you, man, no, this is not going to happen again and we're just going to deal with it?
I had a couple of those. Yeah. The first big one was when I realized how bad the vaping culture is. We took our youth to a conference a couple of hours away from home. So everyone's on our little bus and off we go. And overnight, I found out that they were caught vaping. So they brought their vapes to a youth conference, to another church, vaping in the church.
In the church?
In the church.
Vaping in the
all
church?
Together. Yeah, overnight.
Oh, wow.
Got caught. And so I sent them all home immediately. Yes. But just to set an expectation of, we don't do this. We're taking you, we're trusting you to do the right thing. We love you. I want to see you again next Friday at youth, but you're going home now because that was not a great decision. Yes, yes. And because that was very early when I was setting the culture as well and just trying to just clear all that stuff out of our youth ministry to start with and go, at youth, we don't do that. Yeah. If you do that at home with your family, that's different. But here in a church, we just don't. You're only with us for a couple hours a week. We're not going to do that.
So let me cut that one. We live in a time where the church feel like they need to bend the rules for people to come in. How do you see that? Because now you said you have to lay down the rules for the kids. But you want more kids. Maybe you should have created a place for them where they can go and vape and they'll come back. What do you think?
Well, first of all, so I'm very much, my approach is come as you are.
Okay.
I want them to come if they were pregnant, if they're anything. We've had gay kids, trans kids, anyone is welcome. You come through our doors, you are welcome. We don't do anything illegal to start with. So vaping straight away, if you're under 18, there's no way you can legally purchase vapes.
Absolutely.
It is illegal to hold them or purchase them if you're under 18. So that's where we draw the line as far as the vaping. It's illegal. There are people on my team who do smoke, and so there's boundaries around that when they can do it, is, you know, before the program, after the program, not with the youth. But I feel like we have to have boundaries or it becomes absolutely out of control. Something I've often reminded my youth is that I will call the police. If you decide to start a fight here, I will call the police, because this is a safe space for everyone. And you don't know who's struggling with anything. We want to create an environment that is safe for all of them, and that they can come as they are, but when they're with us, there are things that we don't do.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. But I don't think the church should bend rules. I think these kids are people that we are called to, you know, to nurture and to help them. Okay, which is really good. And I understand there's so many words of inclusive and all that, where you open your door, you allow people to just come in. And if you don't take those rules really seriously, they're going to pollute what you have laid down or what God has called you to do. So taking a firm decision is really good. You know, it's really good to help. All right, so we're going to cut it now, and we are still going to come back in the next episode. Thank you for watching Ministry Guide today. Go into the next episode, subscribe to all our channel, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and everything. Go on our website. There is tons of resources for you and your church. God bless you. We'll see you.